Three straggly trees huddle on the fissured face of Harter Fell, high in the Lake District's eastern corner. From 30 feet below, I can tell that they are willows, but I need to get closer to work out which species. With plenty of well-rooted birch and rowan to cling to, scrambling up the first part of the flower-hung crag is easy enough. The upper section, a few more degrees to the vertical, is a different matter. A loss of footing now would result in a slide, a plummet, and a limb-breaking landing on the boulder scree below. Few people set foot up here, leaving botanical treasures undiscovered in steep gullies and on brittle ledges. Water, running over the crumbly, calcium-rich rocks, forms patches of fertile, rudimentary soil, great for flowers, not so great for climbing. Halfway up this slippery mess of a cliff, a solid-looking, foot-long triangle of rock comes off in my hand, shattering on the ground below. I retreat with my pulse racing. Working around the base of the crag, I find a gentler ascent via a narrowing, grassy corridor hemmed in by rising cliffs. As usual, my progress is slow, distracted every few steps by the summer wildflowers. Stone bramble, alpine lady's mantle, northern bedstraw, lesser meadow rue and starry saxifrage enliven the rocks, the poetry in their names adding to the allure of their shapes and colours. The willows come back into view with just a narrow, sloping slab bridging the gap between us, which I inch across crab fashion. I feel as if I'm reaching hallowed ground. Growing beneath the unruly mesh of the willow's branches are the fleshy stems of roseroot, the smooth oval leaves of devil's bit scabious, sturdy heather and vivid bilberry, a fragrant feast for any herbivore. That these plants are still here tells me that none have been brave or hungry enough to make the crossing. The soil is light and fluffy, with the rich mossy smell of an ancient oakwood. Any boot marks I leave will be quickly colonised, the plants erasing the evidence of my visit. Their glossy green foliage tells me that these are tea-leaved willow, a species which grows in only a handful of places in the Lake District fells. No more than shoulder height, their squat and sprawling form keeps them stable on their wind-battered refuge. The promise of such rare and beautiful plants makes botanising in these crags intensely addictive. There's always one more ledge to investigate, one more unexplored gully with secrets to uncover. I've never made it back to the car anything less than hopelessly late. Fast growing and producing huge quantities of tiny airborne seeds, willows are pioneers, quickly establishing in damp ground where the conditions are right. For thousands of years, willow bark has relieved human suffering. Its soothing power led to the development of aspirin. Perhaps herbivores can detect this medicinal benefit, adding to willow's edible appeal. Smaller creatures are just as enticed. Willows are second only to oaks in the number of insect species they support. What I love most about willows is their regenerative ability. Stick a cut branch into damp soil during the winter months, and by spring it will have sprouted leaves, on its way to becoming a whole new tree. Even a small cut branch kept inside on a tabletop can develop bright buds in spring, tiny green symbols of hope and renewal. There is no tree as hungry for life as a willow.